Nationwide is on your side. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You're in good hands with Allstate. The Traveler's Umbrella. Geico, so easy, a caveman can do it. Talking about ease and convenience. Promote customer service. It's boring as heck to try to talk about policies and coverage. They're selling peace of mind. Sell peace of mind. It's very promotable. Now, think about this from a standpoint of weddings. I've been in the wedding business 21 years full time. And I got to tell you, from being right there in the thick of it, like many of you are, we can't just assume that because they're at this wonderful celebration that's been meticulously planned and executed by all these vendors, that every person in that audience is happy to be there. For the most part, they are. But there's many things going on in their personal lives that can give us a reason to believe that, they might be disconnected. We see it all the time when someone invites a friend from work and they bring their spouse who's never met the bride and groom. We've seen people sitting at tables before that don't know the people across from them. There are a lot of people disconnected. I work in a casino town, Reno, Nevada. And for any of you who work in an area where casino gaming is, they usually get into town Friday night. They lose 90% of their money that night. And then they go to the wedding the next day. And nothing puts anybody in a bad mood more than that. So while they're there to celebrate this wonderful day that's in their honor, they're not all happy campers. We can't exactly be, mind readers. I understand that. But there is some things that we can do that can kind of select and pay a little bit more attention to the people who may not be there celebrating or engaging the way we want. Now, besides the idea that not all customers are the same, and if you want to really find this out, anybody here work in the hotel industry? Perfect. Ask somebody at a hotel front desk about not all customers being the same. We might think that they're arriving at this hotel to check in because it represents a conference they've been wanting to go to for quite some time, or a family vacation they've been looking forward to all year, or maybe several years. But the truth is, what's happening before they get to that hotel front desk is they've been on travel. They've been on travel for maybe 13 hours, 15 hours with flight delays, with lost luggage, with missing shuttle buses, having to wait 45 minutes, sometimes in the rain or whatever the case might be. On the surface, you might think hotel front desks is an easy thing to do. But they will tell you there are so many changes and difference of attitude going on from these customers. We can't assume every customer walking up is happy to be there. Just like we should never assume just because it's a wedding celebration and a happy occasion, we got to take a look close at what's going on in their lives, look for disconnect, and find out how we can fix that in the audience. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. And of course, we're right next door to Las Vegas Hilton here, which is where Elvis played all his concerts. He gave us such a great library of music, a great collection of songs, 33 movies, concert tours everywhere. As far as I'm concerned, the greatest thing Elvis ever gave us was that saying right there. Thank you very much. You know what he's doing there? He is ingratiating himself to his audience. He is applauding them. Have you ever watched an Elvis live concert or listened to one of the Aloha from Hawaii albums or Madison Square Garden albums? He'll say, let's turn the house lights up and take a look at you. Thank you. You're a beautiful audience. You ever heard him say that? He is giving it back to them, ingratiating himself to them. Now, when that bride calls you for that all-annoying, how much do you charge question, the first thing out of your mouth should be, congratulations on your engagement. Show sincere happiness for them. And remember how many vendors, that they call besides you won't do that. Here's another way to ingratiate yourself to the people around you. A customer calls you, and they tell you, I'm getting married at such and such facility. It doesn't matter if you're a florist, a DJ, or whatever. I'm getting married at this facility. I often say, that's great. They're a great facility. Fantastic staff. They'll take care of you. Who's your photographer? Oh, my photographer is so-and-so. Oh, I love working with them. They're wonderful. This is if you like the people, by the way. If you don't like them, then better left unsaid. But if you like the people and work with them, let them know that you do like these people and how good they are and how wonderful they are to work with. What you're doing there is reinforcing the idea that you are traveling down a great road here. You're selecting some great vendors, and now you're calling me. Brides don't look at tradition. Think about it. If they did, they'd realize the cake cutting was once a fertility ritual. If they did, the champagne toast never happened. It was a mead toast. Mead is a honey wine. And they would drink it for 30 days, a full moon. It's an Irish honey wine. That's where that came from. Marriage by capture is why you have the brides on the right, or on your left, and the groomsmen on your right. Because the men would draw their swords to keep the bride from being captured in medieval times. Time after time after time, these wonderful stories from guests who have visited Disneyland, and they've had something magical happen that they never thought possible, they didn't plan for. What happens is the supervisors instill into their employees at the park the idea to go out and do something great, to go out and make a magical moment. They're allowed to give out fast passes at will. Right before a Cinderella show on the big stage, they'll grab a little girl and her parents and take her backstage and make her a fairy godmother in training. You've been to the park and you've seen these floats where normal everyday citizens are on the floats. They didn't pay a fee to be there. It wasn't because they knew somebody. They were selected at random in the audience to have a magical moment happen for them. There are many things that we can do as wedding professionals that create magical moments.